The best president for the College of DuPage cannot and will not be chosen as the result of in my opinion, a very tainted search process about which I have spoken at length on previous occasions. So I'm going to focus my remarks now on two of the candidates whose information was given to the trustees and I'm sure to the search committee members. We received it on April 7th. In the case of Dr. Cavalier, it appears that her EDD, in Education Administration from the University of Texas, has somehow morphed into a PhD, as indicated on her letter of application and on the listing of her professional experiences. Now, I don't have an EDD or a PhD, but I called a friend who does, and I said, just refresh my memory, this is what I think I know. These two degrees are very dissimilar. One is much more rigorous than the other. So which degree is it? The EDD or the PhD? I don't think that's a trivial matter. For Dr. Rondeau, it's not what's on the pages, but what's not. Under her listing of professional career highlights, she begins with her current employment, IBM Watson Group, partner, independent consultant, 2012 to present. That's an interesting outfit in artificial intelligence. It's interesting to read about. So when I decided to do my own research, I came across Dr. Rondeau's LinkedIn profile, on which she notes that she is a partner with the Allen Austin Global Executive Search and Leadership Consultants, a search firm. And IBM is listed as her previous employment. Well, when I checked the Allen Austin website on April 15th, her picture was listed, and the title was consultant, not partner. I don't know. So, is she working at a search firm? A search firm which also has an office on Dearborn Avenue in Chicago? I don't know. And finally, there's a connection to the Union League Club of Chicago. And I've brought this up before. It's an organization that boasts as members former temporary part-time COD administrator, Chris Roebling, and you guessed it, our search firm CEO, William Hay. Dr. Rondeau became a trustee for the Union League of Chicago Boys and Girls Club just last November, 5 months ago. So how do you do this long distance? She's been characterized to all of us as an out-of-state candidate. Or maybe she has an Illinois address? I don't know, and that's what troubles me. I don't know for sure where she works or where she lives. Selecting a president for this college is an extremely important responsibility that we have as trustees. We need a transparent and honest process. We are not bound by the committee's recommendations. We have the opportunity to begin the search again or to use the names that have surfaced already and do our own research and look at these candidates ourselves. Honestly, I hope we will. I'm very concerned about these inconsistencies in the information that we've been given.
Right, well, Trustee McGuire, had you actually come to the interviews that the board had with Dr. Cavalier and with Dr. Rondeau, or had you forwarded any of these concerns to the Presidential Search Committee or the recruiters, I think you would have found that your questions were readily answered. And, you know, as you well know, I did actually offer to you to have personal interviews arranged with each of the candidates that you just discussed, and you declined. So I think perhaps the error of you relying on your own research as opposed to some of trying to get the research or the information directly from the sources themselves, Dr. Cavalier did in fact confirm, because some people that you had made those allegations to forwarded them to me. And she confirmed that, yes, her doctorate is considered to be a PhD. So
Now, it says in her education credential in the book that we were given, it says ED of D.
Well, that is the summary, and her resume is very clear that she has a doctorate in educational administration, and she confirmed that that is in fact a PhD. As for Dr. Rondeau, I find it somewhat appalling that you're trying to impugn the integrity of someone who I think by all measures is a national hero and who deserves our respect for her service to our country. I would note that Dr. Rondeau was apparently contacted by newspapers because you chose to make those allegations to them instead of asking Dr. Rondeau directly or through appropriate channels, and she has confirmed that your allegations are perhaps confused. She explained to us, actually, because we had the opportunity to ask her discussions about her employment, the nature of her employment with IBM Watson Group, how she was serving as a consultant to Alan Austin pro bono, and if we're going to start saying that anyone who's associated with the Union League can't be president of College of DuPage, I mean, that's going to also exclude Barack Obama and Dick Durbin. So, I think that to a certain extent, you should be respectful and not make allegations about people that are really not substantiated in a public forum. And at the very least, it's incumbent on you as a representative of this board to at least make an effort to try to seek that information from the actual sources of the people who have that information. And with regard to the search process, we are all well aware of your concerns, and we are also well aware of the errors that we have seen in your reasoning that get you to that place. We've tried to correct them, but I understand you're going to continue to hold those views. But I really think that had you come to some of these forums and been here and heard the appreciation from the members of the public that they were able to participate in this process, to hear people being excited that they feel the college is finally on the right track to start moving forward, and perhaps had you ever gone to one of the Presidential Search Committee meetings and seen the dedication of the many volunteers who gave hundreds of hours of their time, volunteer pro bono, to try to help this college, you might not disregard their contributions so lightly. So on behalf of those individuals, I apologize. Now let's move on to the rest of you.
I think I need to say in response to that.
You can actually take
You can gloss it over all you want, but there are
Trustee McGuire,
inconsistencies.
you are out of order. I gave you your time for public comment.
All right.
Now, at this
I'll
point,
do it.
no,
Fine.
that's not appropriate. That's out of order.
Well,
We are going to
think
now proudly recognize our outgoing student trustee, Gloria Rourke.